Hello, everyone. My name is David Barach, and I'm the Vice President of Pricing Solutions for Antuit.ai. And today I'd like to take a few minutes to talk to you about some of the key elements that retailers should be thinking about in the pricing space right now, given the sales disruption we've had around COVID-19 and how we think we're going to recover from the COVID-19 based store closures. A couple of key things that are top of mind questions that in talking to the various retailers that we work with are in the pricing space. And this is primarily fashion and apparel retailers in terms of the market segments that we work with. What's been the overall landscape for fashion apparel retailers that we've seen? It's important to note that the landscape does vary significantly. But overall, of course, we've seen almost a complete sales stop in store sales, with most retailers able to maintain a volume on their e-com sites. Albeit for many, the e-com site volume has come at the cost of a significant AUR reduction, largely e-com type promotions. Significant staff reductions are going to impact the ability of the retailers to open up quickly and start to gain customers back. Another consideration here is that order shifts and cancellations are going to impact the flow of goods really pretty much for the balance of the year because of the way that the order cancellations can be executed today. Strategies vary across the retail space, obviously, with some retailers reacting more to the known facts today, while others are probably taking a little bit more of a strategic view, looking further out and developing a plan for not only the balance of this season, but next season and even the rest of the year, which is something we definitely encourage. What are the type of top-of-mind considerations for retailers in pricing right now? Most of the retailers we work with are focused on the here and now for driving sales in e-com, obviously. And as I mentioned before, this is usually through overall discounts like coupons, incentive cash, extra percentage offs. It's hard to get specific on product or product area discounts when the demand patterns are unknown and shifting, so that we've seen more general promotional strategies. Otherwise, the big question obviously is, what do retailers do when the stores reopen? In our view, there are two broad scenarios, although those scenarios are quickly coalescing to one as we get longer and more store closures. A shorter closing scenario, what we will see will be typified by current inventory still being seasonally relevant, with a significant selling life remaining. The emphasis should be on segmenting the product assortment based on those products with the highest liability. So older goods, more aged goods with shorter seasonal windows and higher relative inventory levels. Think in the extreme case, Easter dresses. Those are going to be goods that are going to need price action at the highest priority. For other products, it may be worth considering a modest extension of the out-of-stock date to relieve the pressure to take markdowns and give products some time to sell through if, in fact, the seasonal profiles would support a little bit longer of a selling life. In a longer closing scenario, the outlook is a little bit more concerning. Goods on the sales floor now will not be as seasonally relevant. There will be more overlap with new receipts, those receipts that haven't been canceled yet. And the demand for the earlier season goods will be much lighter. In some cases, this might be a consideration where it's practical to pack and save. There are a lot of logistical considerations on that, but this is an opportunity where perhaps some of these goods can be brought back for later selling. But that would have to be very product specific and focused probably on goods which do have the ability to come back and have a later selling season. Otherwise, we still feel, even in the longer closing scenario, there's a real opportunity to start to segment the products based on inventory liability and selling season liability. Early detection of the products most at risk should be considered now, possibly for special web promotions while you're in season, or the ability to drive sales immediately at store opening. Finally, the reality is likely somewhere in between, really a hybrid situation. Store reopenings, even if in a few weeks, will bring back some demand, but the demand will be uneven and sparser than before. Operational ability for the stores to execute markdowns or price changes will be limited for quite a while. We know that, in fact, Store demand is likely to come back slowly, even if the malls are open and customers are allowed to come back in. We don't expect that they would flood back into the stores immediately. We are right now thinking in terms of a 4-week ramp-up time to full demand. And that demand will be skittish based on whether there are any localized outbreaks of the virus in any given areas that may force customers to abandon stores or may force regional closings. We also counsel our clients to think a little further down the road. Right now, massive order cancellations that are in progress are bound to leave less than perfect assortments as we move into summer. Some ability to adjust current inventory lives within the context of the orders being canceled, which is good. But coordinated effort in pricing and prioritization of liquidation, given a view of the order adjustments underway, may be the key to do. So understanding what your sales floor will look like as you're going forward in light of not only reduced demand, increased pricing adjustments, but also the balance of inventory based on order cancellations. Finally, it is logical to expect that these outbreaks will be with us throughout the summer and may reemerge in the fall. I think already we are seeing some of the Asian countries that have bounced back to store openings are seeing a little bit of the emergence of regionalized outbreaks. It's completely unknown to know how we will react to that, but it's logical to expect that the consumer, once bitten, will be twice shy about any type of resurgence of the virus, especially as we get in the fall timeframe. So I think it's going to be important to keep in mind what the demand patterns look like throughout not only the summer season, but with an eye toward the fall and winter season. Those are a couple of topics that are top of mind. As we go through those topics, they each have more detail that we will be bringing. In addition, there are a series of emerging topics that we will continue to track. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to Antuit, any of our team of professionals, or myself, and we'd love to talk.